So just like business ethics or journalism ethics or whatever, the ethics starts with the people.
I mean, obviously, we've had a lot of conversations about this and what ethics means in data science, but can you touch on that for me just a little bit? Like what is goodwill associated with this field, or what is ethical and what is not ethical? What does that even mean at a high level?
Yeah, I think there are three words that people keep using over and over again in this section, and that's bias, ethics, and one word that they don't use so much, and that's humanity, right? And I think, we know that bias enters AI in three ways, right? Human decisions about what data is collected, stored, and how it's classified. Humans' decisions about what data is used in training, designing, and creating AI models. And then human decisions about what data is ignored in the above process, right? Like what's left out. And all of those three have something in common, and it's human decisions, right? And so
now, I would also add what we're choosing to evaluate with the model. Yeah.
Yes, what we're choosing, the outcome, evaluation, assessment. All of that has to do with humans. And so I have a piece called Fixing the Human Problem in AI. And if you want, I'm not here to judge anybody's ethics, but I am here to say that if you want ethical AI, it starts with the people who are asking for AI to be created, right? So just like business ethics or journalism ethics or whatever, the ethics starts with the people. And ethics is really just agreed upon set of rules. That's what ethics really is. And that's different than morality, right? So it's just saying, hey, we agree to operate in this way. And so that has to do with data science hygiene, how you decide how to collect data, how you decide how to label it, classify it, what kind of hygiene you have and quality assurance process you have in that. And that's definitely all about the hygiene of the organization. Like, what does the organization think is important? But to me, we have faulty outcomes on our AI models because we have faulty thought processes that go into creating those. If you feel that data is agnostic, I'm sorry, it is not, right? If you feel that algorithms are unbiased and devoid of all the murkiness of humanity, I'm sorry, not true.
Well, so I would disagree with that. I think the algorithms in isolation, just the algorithm, no data being fed in, for the most part is unbiased. But the data that we're putting into these algorithms, it's impossible to have unbiased data. And when the data is integrated into the algorithm, then that algorithm now becomes biased by the data. Is that a fair assessment to?
Yeah. Well, I guess the algorithm without data is no algorithm at all to me, right? Like, okay. Let's just separate the tool from the outcome, right? So an algorithm is like, you can have like Socrates had the first algorithm, to be quite honest, right? So you can have an algorithm, and I think you're right to be precise. It's the data that's fed into it that's biased. But I also think that what algorithm you choose, there's a little bias there as well. I mean, we talked about that, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
So the tool in itself, yeah, but it's ineffectual without it. So potato, if you ask me.
That's fair. I was just thinking about like the math. Like we have a logistic regression.
Yeah, and I still think math can be biased as well. So
totally fair. Yeah.
So I just think that anything, and again, bias is not a bad thing. This is what I want to come across. It's just that we're human and we're biased, and anything that we touch is going to have that part of us, right? And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And so I don't talk about bias mostly. I talk mostly about not arguing over it and designing for it.
That makes sense.
right? So when, to me, the first step for ethical AI or whatever you want to call it is recognizing that bias exists, will exist, and will always exist, and designing for that.
Yeah. And for the data scientists, this type of bias is like human decision-making bias, not variance and bias in an algorithm. Those are different things. Those,
I'm talking more of cognitive bias, heuristic bias, psychology bias, right? That go into your decision-making.